Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you on my phone. Yeah, my stuff is just going really, really slow, but that's okay. So, all right, we're just going to get right into this. This is an awesome video. This is the case of somebody who has persevered through a lot of things in life. And we're coming together to show you guys that anybody who wants to flip their life can actually do it. So we have this thing called a Flip My Life Challenge. And basically what it is it's me teaching people how to go from nothing, using none of their credit, using very little of their money only for advertising purposes, and learning how to get property. So this whole process that we talk about, Flip My Life, it's also, I want people to learn how to think like a bank. So if you guys went and you signed up, which I know you did because you're here now, you've seen that check with Sheddrick Williams right here, live and in person. That's the gentleman who was holding a check. And just to show you this stuff is real. So that check that you saw, I think was like a $5,000 check. He's gonna tell you the whole story on that. And it's an amazing story. And we just really want you to pay attention to this because this is real. No fluff, no magic beans, no smoke screens, just really telling you what it is. With my over 25 years of experience in real estate investing, I've been able to not only flip my life, but help other people flip their lives also. And if you guys are interested in learning how to do this, we're going to present something to you. We got a webinar set up. It's a nice 45-minute webinar that really takes you through the step-by-step. A lot of you guys are left-brainers and you got to really see things and really hear it and see how it makes sense. We're going to take you through some stuff with probate properties, tax sale properties, and show you how to take these assets and use them as a bank and use terms like equity stacking, equity framing, and show you how this whole thing works and show you how you can put together a blueprint, your own portfolio of real estate investments, which other people are losing. And we're dealing with distressed sellers, but that's a part of life. And we show you how to take that, help the people out inside the house, and then create 3 streams of income in the front, the middle, and the back. But this video right here, just real quick, about 10, 15 minutes or so. And let's go. Got Mr. Sheddrick Williams right here. Shed, how you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. How you doing, Mr. Jones?
I am awesome, amazing, especially when I'm looking at stories like yours and your wife, Vicky's. Just kind of tell us where we're at right now. Shed, you've been with me for a few months. May have started out a little bit rocky like it does for most people, but will you tell these people the cold stone truth about real estate investing, flipping your life, and thinking like a bank? Is this real? Oh, Shed, I'm sorry. Your phone is on mute.
How about now? Can you hear me?
I can't hear you coming through the computer.
How about now? Can you hear me?
Wait a minute, let me see.
How about now? Can you hear me?
No, we can't, but we'll use the phone. Ladies and gentlemen, this is off the cuff. This is real life, like both of our lives are real. So sometimes things happen. So he's gonna talk through my phone and hopefully you can hear him good through the phone, but go ahead, Chip.
Yeah, just like you mentioned, starting out, Mr. Jones, it is for real. It's sure real. I'm a living testament to that. And the only reason why it was difficult for me, because I didn't have the knowledge. I didn't have the knowledge to acquire more properties, how to create a rental income without using my own money. And without using my own money, with that being said, how to think like a bank, become the bank to acquire those properties with real estate.
Okay, great. So just real quick, just a little bit about your background, and then we got about 15 minutes here. So we're gonna jump right into how you got that check on the front of that ad.
Yeah, just a little bit about me. I'm a graduate of Troy University, business administration. I graduated in 2020.
And where do you live?
I live in Columbus, Georgia right now.
Okay.
Columbus, Georgia is about 90 miles south of Atlanta. Big market as far as real estate. Like I mentioned, I'm a graduate of Troy University, came out 2020, and was looking for something, looking for a business venture, looking to get into real estate and, just acquire, properties, just to learn the game.
Okay, and I gather that you have, thus that's why you're here on this video today, right?
Correct.
All right, so people came and they saw an ad on yours, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, wherever they saw it, and now they see the real man right there who was holding the check. Can you talk about what did it take to get that check in your hand? What was the process? Explain the process. What's the first thing you did? The second thing you did? The third thing you did? And how did it all culminate for you to get that check? Was it $5,000 in your hand?
Yeah, that was my $5,000 check.
And we'll talk about the rest of the money that's coming also, right?
Correct. I mean, it just took me learning, the process as far as getting the properties, doing the research. I use a software that we use, Freedom Solve and PropStream, just to do my investigation on the property, see who owns it, if they're behind on tax sales, foreclosed properties, different pre-probates like Mr. Jones mentioned earlier. And with that, those tools, I learned how to do that research.
Okay, so when we're researching, let's just break this down. What are you researching? Like, how do you know, like, a house is in foreclosure? How do you know you can flip a house and have this whole think like a bank mentality?
I mean, the reason I know is because of what you showed me through the training, and everything's listed with those tools that I mentioned before. Everything is listed on those tools. Everything is listed in those softwares.
Okay.
Probably foreclosed or.
Yeah. So, okay, let's give me, because I just want people to, I want to give them everything I can in like 10 minutes now. So you find a house and it's in foreclosure. How do you know it's in foreclosure?
It's listed. It's public information.
Public information, right?
Yes.
At that point, people are probably going through a whole bunch of feelings, emotions, because they're in a position where, whether it's COVID or they lost a job or someone died or divorced or whatever the case, the situation may be. And they're looking for help, but they don't know what to do. So in essence, you're going to help them. And how are you helping them out? What did you do to get their attention? Just for the property, what did $5,000 check? What did you and your wife, as a part of your business with you also, right?
Right.
Okay. What do you and your wife do to get this person's attention so that you could present a solution for them?
Really just reached out to those people and solved their problem. Just wanted to know what was going on with the house, how far they were behind on the house, and just the research. So
their problem was they were losing the property, right?
Right.
What did you and your wife, Vicky, what did you guys introduce to the owner?
We introduced them just an offer for the home.
And when you introduce an offer, what you're also doing is you're bringing a solution. So you took a burden off of them, right?
Correct.
You took a burden off of them. Now, a little bit about that house that generated that check, multiple checks, which we're going to talk about too. Where was the property at? Was it about to go through an auction? Did you stop an auction? Like, what did you do? Because there's some high income or high income skill sets that you have now.
Correct. With that being said, the reason how we stopped it was it was getting ready to foreclose. And we stopped it through a pre-foreclosure.
Okay.
We got with the young lady and create a great deal, create a constructive deal.
Okay. And you solved her problem. Now, people talk about this no money down real estate thing. Could you tell me a couple of questions I need to know? How much did you pay for the house? And I want to know, did they ask you about your credit? And did they ask you about the money that you had in the bank?
To answer those questions, the amount that I put down in the house was $0 with no credit. They didn't have to check my credit.
So you're telling me that you can do this and get a $5,000 check? Well, actually, ladies and gentlemen, the total check that he's going to get is $24,000, but he just showed that first check. If you follow us and go to the webinar, we're going to show you every step, every phase. I think, are you scheduled to pick up some more money today?
Of course.
How's this working, man? Because you got one check. People are probably confused. You got one check for $5,000, and I just said you're going to end up with $24,000. How is this working with the tenant buyer that you bought into the property?
That is it is through the tenant buyer program, which is the rent to own with 15% down, and with the amount from the house that was sold, I'm able to get that 15% down from the tenant buyers. Within the next year, they have the option to buy it.
Right. So right now at this point, you had a check for $5,000. You're picking up another check today.
Yes, sir.
And how much is that one for?
For $5 more grand.
So you have a total of 10,000. Will you be able to get a picture of that check for us also?
Oh, no problem. Sure.
Okay. He said no problem, y'all. And then before now, has the tenant moved in yet, or how is this whole thing going to work? Are they like, how does the rest of the process work so that you get the rest of the money and they end up with a price? What's the process?
Well, he has to come in with the full amount of 15% before he moves in the house.
So the 5,000, he just gave you a deposit?
The 5,000 is deposit.
Okay, and that's non-refundable, ladies and gentlemen.
It is non-refundable.
I'm sorry, it's not even a deposit, it's a down payment because this is their future home. And we're putting people who could not get qualified from a bank. Remember, I said you gotta think like a bank. So what I'm helping Mr. and Mrs. Williams do now is to build their portfolio of properties that they're going to take over in the middle of a pandemic, make money on the front end, the middle, and the back end. So with that being said, when are they moving in, and how much more money will you be collecting from them?
The move-in is on the 1st of October, and before that move-in, they will have to pay the rest of the balance, which would be $14,000.
For a grand total of $24,000 on a property that you didn't have to apply for a mortgage, you didn't use your credit, you didn't put money down, and you're making money right up front, and they haven't even moved in yet. Now, is this like $1 million home or what?
It's not $1 million home. It's just a typical property, 100,000 plus.
I think you said it was like a $175,000 range.
175,000.
So off of a property with 175,000, we're going to break this down in the webinar. How did he do this? How did he put this whole thing together, right? To get a property. Oh, is it a junker? Is the roof caved in? I'm sure it is. The roof caved in. You need new floors, new bathrooms.
This is a great property. Property is in great condition.
Wait. So you're telling me you didn't even have to rehab it? No money down, no credit, no banks, and you didn't even rehab it?
I didn't even rehab it.
Man, I can't wait to get to this webinar. How about you guys? We're gonna reveal it all, right, Shed? No smoke screens, no fluff, no magic beans, right?
Correct.
You are a newbie. Is this your first deal or your 100th deal?
This is my first deal. I'm a newbie.
You still consider
very
newbie.
Excited. Very excited.
And the old saying goes, if you can do it, they can do it.
Right.
So now at this point, what I'm so proud of is that when I do my mentoring, after I help people get their checks and I see certain things inside of them, I help them get to the next level of coaching because they are ahead of everybody. You're ahead of everybody else. So now what's going on is with my assistants, Mr. Williams now will go forward and create his own course, you guys. His own course that will show you how to create an income stream of $5, $10, $15, $20,000 a month. And it really depends on where you live at inside of the United States, how much the homes are going for. But I'm telling you right now, it's time to start learning how to think like a bank. You have to learn to think like a bank to be able to see opportunities where other people can't, to be able to see around corners and to know that you don't have to go to a bank. You don't have to do the traditional stuff that everyone's telling you. You don't have to be a real estate agent. And you can do this with your wife, your spouse, right? So with this being said, Chad, what's your goal for the next 12 months? How many of these properties do you want to get? And what do you want your income to be at on a monthly basis?
Well, my goal right now is to acquire 15 properties within the next 12 months. And those properties with my minimum income that I, working hard towards that I really wanted to do. Man, I'm looking to make even $35,000 a month.
And the average person looking may say, "What? Come on." Well, guys, if you think about it, if he's getting, remember, he gets paid 3 ways. And I can't go through all of that now because we're running out of time. But inside of the webinar, please go sign up for this webinar. It's not like anything else you've ever seen. And the amount of support, you're going to be getting support from Sheddrick, his wife, and me, because they've already been through it. And now it's wash, rinse, and repeat for them. When we talk about support, Shed, let's just talk about that real quick too. How is the support you've received since you've been in the program?
Like, I've been in this program with Mr. Jones less than half a year. And I learned more than the average. Now, I learned more than these last 5-6 months than I learned through my whole college career. And the support system is amazing. Mr. Jones, he's a man of integrity. He does his due diligence. He does his research, and most importantly, he does what he says. Mm-hmm. You know, he came to Columbus on several occasions to my town. As long as I'm generating work and having something to work to, he'll come. He'll come to you. The support system is 1,000%. 1,000%.
And thank you for those kind words. Ladies and gentlemen, what I want to do is change the game. I want to change the way that real estate investors have been looked at, and these programs have been looked at. You have a lot of people who aren't really doing this. They've read a couple of books and they give you some basic crap that after a while you find out it doesn't work. And they want to keep you paying month after month and year after year and keep so much stuff thrown at you that you can never figure it out. But what I'm doing is I'm bringing integrity to the game and just real life experience. And the way that I do it is I treat people the way that I would want to be treated. So I teach Sheddrick the way that I would teach my brother, my mother, my father, anyone that I care about. And it shows. And as long as I can find some warriors that are willing to go the extra mile and do what needs to be done, I tell you that you will have success. There's no fluff and no magic beans. You have to put the work in. But if you're willing to put the work in, I have a brand new 45-minute webinar that will really break this down to you. Now, I've also been picking up properties we go after the back taxes. We go after the homeowners association dues. We go after the excess proceeds. I mean, it's really flipping your life, but you have to think like a bank. You have to be aware of the power that you possess. So I'm asking you, what's your superpower? Everyone has a superpower. And if you can just focus in on this, what I'm telling you, during this 8-week program course that we're putting together as we speak, you're going to make this money too. And then as Sheddrick and Vicky's students, you guys will be getting on recordings just like this with them, because it's all about each one teaching one and us being conduits to the next person. When you learn how to do something like this, which does create generational wealth, you got to pass it on.
You got to pass on the legacy. You got to pass on the legacy.
But you got to deserve it, ladies and gentlemen. You have to deserve it. You got to show up and you got to put the work in. And I promise you, we'll show you how this all works. It will help you put the pieces of your life back together, help you flip it, and then show you how to retire rich. If that's something that you're interested in, wherever the sign up is, or if you haven't done it yet, go sign up for this webinar. I'm going to put my heart and soul into this. And I'm going to twist Sheddrick's arm. I'm going to go deep inside of his mind. And I want to know I want to do this from the perspective of a newbie. I don't want to just teach it from my way. I want to teach it from his perspective, because there's things that he had to overcome and he's still overcoming. So we're not just going to talk about the glory days. We're going to talk about what you do when you feel like you can't do it, when you feel overwhelmed. This is where a great mentor comes in. So you're not going to have to do that. So with that being said, Shed, you have, can we talk about, so you're going to have $24,000 down. We're going to set this up, ladies and gentlemen, so that if they buy it in the first year, we're going to give it to them at one price, maybe like $160. If they buy it in the second year, maybe the price is $175. And if they buy it in the third year, maybe the price is $200, because we have to also measure in for appreciation. Remember, these are people that we're serving that can't get a traditional bank loan. So there's things that we do to still monetize. So $24,000 up front. The way we do it, if they buy it in year 2 or 3, it'll be another $20,000, $25,000. And also there's a monthly income that comes with this. So before we leave, I want you to bless them and amaze them and shock and amaze them and let them know, what are you going to be clearing per month on your first property? My very first property, I'll be clearing $1,800 a month.
$1,800
No,
a month.
not 1,800. I think you're getting 1,800.
Yeah, you said the monthly?
Yeah, how much you're going to clear after the mortgage is paid, because there's still an existing mortgage, and we'll break that down. So there's going to be a mortgage payment. What's left over is what I meant for you. So you're going to get $1,800 a month from them. But is that all yours?
Oh no, that's not all mine.
Okay, how much are you going to clear?
I'm going to clear $1,000. I'm going to clear $1,000 a month.
Ladies and gentlemen, that says it all. $24,000 up front, $1,000 a month, and another $25,000 on the back end once we do this right. So the question is, you know what? Last thing here, how did you feel when you first started? And were there some days where you thought maybe you bit off more than you could chew? Because people need to know this.
I bit off more than I could chew when I first started. I was overwhelmed. There was a lot coming at me. I mean, I'm a newbie. I knew about it, but I didn't know about it, you know, and for me to acquire these skills and the skill set, which is priceless, you know, it took a lot of, you know, hard work, you know, downs and outs and back up in the down, but I reloaded myself, you know.
That's a part of the process, ladies and gentlemen. And the only way you'll have success in anything is to have discipline and be consistent. The only reason that we don't get what we want is because we're not disciplined and consistent. Anyone in this world can have success, because success is just you moving towards your worthy ideals and goals, right? But there's no secrets. You got a lot of people chase success secrets. All you have to do is master something and keep doing it over and over again, and you'll have success in anything you do, even outside of real estate. But we're going to show you how to build a real estate empire for your family that carries on from generation to generation. Real quick, I keep saying real quick, but last time, what does your wife think about what you're doing? What does your daughter, your family think about what you're doing? Because you guys do this as a family, right?
Yeah, we do this as a family, man. That's the only reason I'm doing it, just to work on my family legacy, just to show them something different, something that's not traditional, something that you created, because you always got to remember, we're the conscious creator of our lives. We get what we work for. We get what you deserve, just like you mentioned, Mr. Jones. So come in and check the webinar out, become a leader of the field. Let's get it cracking. Let's get it started, man. I'm excited.
If you guys are ready to become leaders, understand that you're going to learn something new. It's going to be a lot. But if you don't quit on me, we won't quit on you. And we know what's going to happen at the end. You'll be standing up there smiling with checks too. All right. So put your information in. If you haven't registered for the webinar already, please do it. We're going to change the game. And you may even get one of us or both of us to come to your town, or you come to where we are. All right. So with that being said, we wish everyone the best of success. Thanks for tuning into this. And we'll see you on the other side.
Right. God bless. Peace.